בושה! בושה! בושה!
הבוקר, בלב שבור, אנחנו עם משפחותיהם של אורי דנינו, אלכס לובנוב, אלמוג סרוסי, הירש גולדברג פולי, כרמל גת ועדן ירושלמי, זיכרונם לברכה. לפני מספר שעות התקנו את המשפחות כי גופות יקיריהן הותרו על ידי כוח צה"ל במנהרה תת-קרקעית ברפיח. על פי הערכה הראשונית העומדת ברשותנו, הם נרצחו באכזריות על ידי מחבלי חמאס זמן קצר לפני שהגענו אליהם. הם נחטפו חיים בבוקר 7 באוקטובר על ידי ארגון הטרור חמאס.
Israel has seen a surge in protests following the discovery of deceased captives taken by Palestinian Hamas militants in Gaza. Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has come under fire for not caving into Islamic demands. The Middle East situation is grave. There is substantial dissatisfaction inside the Israeli administration and disarray among Gaza's leadership, especially with Hamas. The region and the world community are being impacted by this twin instability, which is causing an unstable climate that could worsen. The terrible outcome of the hostages kidnapped by Hamas is among the most urgent concerns. The horrific discovery of the deaths of multiple Israeli hostages, notably H.H. Goldberg and Edin Yami, serves as a sobering reminder of the brutal methods used by Islamist organizations. Their acts not only demonstrate a total disrespect for human life, but they also contribute to the region's ongoing cycle of bloodshed. In Israel, demonstrations are breaking out all over the place as things develop, especially in places like Tel Aviv. The public wants Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to take responsibility for the hostage situation and take decisive action. It is imperative to comprehend the radicalism that motivates organizations such as Hamas to fully comprehend their demands for justice. A yearning for security and tranquility that is persistently thwarted by such extreme beliefs is reflected in the public revolt. The IDF carried out a nocturnal operation in Rafah in response to the hostage crisis, revealing the bodies of 6 hostages who have been brutally murdered by their captors. This terrible incident emphasizes how urgently the threat presented by Islamist radicals needs to be countered with a strong military response. The goal of the IDF's operations is to destroy the infrastructure that these violent groups rely on to succeed, in addition to freeing the captives. There is a lot of political pressure on Netanyahu to take strong action against Hamas. The public and opposition parties are closely examining his government, which has prompted calls for more robust security and safety measures. Any reaction to Islamist violence needs to be decisive and uncompromising as public opinion becomes more polarized. The alarming increase of Islamist extremism in Europe, which includes riots and clashes associated with extreme groups, is reminiscent of the violence in the Middle East. Recent developments in the UK and around Europe have demonstrated that this mindset is a worldwide problem, rather than being limited to a single area. There should be a wake-up call, given the increase of violence and turmoil in Western cities. We must oppose all forms of violence that endanger our communities and take a firm stand against these extreme ideas. Even though military action is the focus, the humanitarian implications must also be considered. But there must be a boundary drawn between helping innocent bystanders and supporting organizations that support violence. Hamas and related organizations' deeds cause immediate harm to their communities and feed the cycle of hopelessness. In conclusion, whether in Gaza or on the streets of Europe, we must categorically denounce the deadly acts of Islamist organizations. The story must center on freeing communities from the control of radicals who have harmed them and taken their power. We must oppose all forms of violence and radicalism in favor of peace, security, and the rule of law. What do you think about the current war and the increase of radicalization across the world, especially in Europe? How ought governments to react? Tell us in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more debates and updates on these important topics. I appreciate you listening, and be careful.